For years, we've been struggling to understand what the paralyzed patients are trying to say. Understanding their needs seems impossible, especially for a person who comes across such a patient for the first time. And as a result, the thoughts and needs of the patients are often left unaddressed. But this world never fails to surprise us when it comes to technology and inventions. Now, you can easily communicate with paralyzed patients and understand exactly what they are trying to say through text messages. Well, as shocking as it sounds, yes, while a paralyzed person cannot move, they can send you messages. A paralyzed patient recently received assistance from a novel brain-computer interface created by a New York-based company called Synchron to send messages using their Apple device for the first time. This is the much-awaited advancement in a field that has increasingly reported progress, which raises the possibility that brain-machine interface technology may become a reality much sooner than we are expecting. Let's see how this works. Well, this invention uses iBrain, where brain-computer interfaces listen in on brainwaves and translate them into instructions. A robotic arm or computer mouse can be controlled using essentially the same neural signals that healthy people use to tell their muscle fibers to contract and carry out movements, like walking or grasping an object. As good as this sounds, this piece of technology has some clear advantages for people who are completely paralyzed and have few, if any, ways to communicate with the outside world. Many of you might be thinking that this is the latest advancement in technology, and nothing like this has ever been developed before. But if we see its history, researchers have been experimenting with brain-computer interfaces for quite some time. It has only been in the past few years or so that significant advancements have been made. So, with a discovery like this comes years and years of hard work. And even the richest man on Earth, Elon Musk, has jumped on this bandwagon, establishing a business called Neuralink with the ultimate goal of creating technology that enables you to wirelessly transmit and receive information between your brain and a computer, essentially linking the human mind to gadgets. The intention is that anyone who wants to enhance their abilities by interacting with machines, including healthy normal people, should be able to use this technology. Musk's company published a video of a monkey playing ping pong while wearing a Neuralink implant in 2021. And the company now wants to start clinical trials on humans. But devices like Neuralink implant are not simple to use because it requires brain surgery. Here's why. To make your brain connect to the machines, hundreds of tiny electrodes need to be surgically implanted into various parts of your brain. Doing something like that obviously seems problematic, and many of you might not consider doing it unless you're in dire need. And according to us, a person would only go for this process if it was the only way out of a miserable life, or simply if he doesn't have anything to lose. The dangers of this treatment are non-negligible. Around the surgical site, you can come across scar tissue, making the implant less useful or even useless, and necessitating further surgical procedures. And to top it all off, if the components used to make the sensors are rejected by the immune system, an unpredictable reaction may occur, posing a risk of a life-threatening complications both during surgery and after. On the other hand, the latest invention, Synchron, is nothing like this. The Synchron interface is not surgically inserted into the brain. Despite requiring some surgery, the device inserts electrodes into the blood vessels rather than neural tissue, just beneath the motor cortex of the brain. This procedure is much less invasive, safer, and not very costly because it doesn't require highly skilled neurosurgeons. The permanent Synchron implants, which resemble a mesh and are about the size of a AAA battery, have been used by 4 patients for more than a year with no side effects yet reported. The invention is something that you can use without any fear. But it doesn't mean that the device has no disadvantages. One and only disadvantage is that it can't read complex brainwaves. But don't worry, take a deep breath, because it still works well enough. You might not be able to play ping pong with it, but you will be able to mentally type out short messages. And if you're confused about privacy, here's something to clear your mind. The FDA has only authorized the Synchron switch to go through clinical trials as a permanently implemented brain-computer interface. If everything goes to plan, the business will submit a formal FDA approval request, which would make the device eligible for Medicare insurance. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more content just like this. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care.